Hi guys, Money Treadmill here. Today we're going to go through a quick little history of the portfolio. Then we're going to go through my strategy for dividend investing. Well, kind of gone over it there already, but we'll get into it in a sec. And then we're going to go over the income for the portfolio this month. So first thing we're going to go through is basically like most investors at the minute, I'm feeling the brunt of the Brexit um, basically massacre that's going on at the minute. A lot of uncertainty going on in the country at the minute with financials, housing, everything of that nature. No one really knows exactly what's going to happen, and it's obviously heading towards some kind of recession, but no one really figures when it's going to happen. Obviously, that's a big question. So as a result of that, my portfolio has taken a fair hit. It used to be around about valued at 30,000, and now it's down to around about 27,000 at the minute. So, for example, Aviva, majority of my shares were bought for around about £5 a share, and they're currently down to around about 3.8. Oh no, 3.6 today. Yeah, it's even lower than I thought. But all it really means to me is just the yield is going to be higher if I choose to buy more, just because they obviously pay the same amount per share. Same with majority of these. So HSBC, I didn't have many shares left to this. It was basically just the leftovers of a capital gains that I'd gotten out of. So I bought, how much was it? I bought 150 originally, just here, and I'd gotten basically enough of a return, and I sold them. So I bought them at, what was it, 5.15, I think it was originally. Yeah, and then I think I'd gotten out for them round about 6.7, and they're currently at round about 6.2, that sort of thing. Which so I've left with some, and I'm just basically reinvesting those dividends that I've got there. Chesnara is basically another insurance company. Again, my financials are the majority of my portfolio. Trying to sort that soon. Chesnara is just another insurance company. Obviously pays a pretty heavy dividend. Same sort of thing. It's kind of dropped off since I'd initially invested in it. So what did I bought it for? No, it's sitting at 3.6 currently, and I probably bought it for around about 3.8 to 4 thereabouts. So we're sitting around about like a what, like 10% loss, something like that. Moving down the list, we've got City of London Investment Trust. I'd basically just recently sold them. Well, a vast majority of them. Originally, I'd bought 2,337 shares. And now it's down to 1,071 shares. I basically waited until just after the ex-dividend date. They pay every 3 months. So I basically got a bit more money coming in this month, but I'd sold them because I basically realized how much ridiculous my financials were. I originally had about 10,000 invested in with them, which just was a bit too much. I just want to, yeah, understandably diversify more. What else? We've got the land securities. We've never really had this as a big portion of portfolio. We've had 90 shares to begin with, 90 shares currently. We've got a cost base of 8.8, and they're currently sitting at 7.7. So they've taken quite a hit. I think I had around about 850 pounds invested with them originally, but no real loss there. I mean, it's not too big a deal. They've still got a decent dividend yield, and they're obviously a company that's fairly well involved in the markets. They're not really going to go anywhere. They're basically a land, well, says it in the name, land securities company. So they basically hold on to assets, basically estates, that sort of thing. Lloyd's Banking, obviously most people have heard of Lloyd's Banking. It's a bank in the UK. The currently are basically sitting at a slight loss. We originally invested 1,375. We've invested across the last maybe 3 years, and managed to get our shares up to 7,918 shares. Basically, the shares taking a dip. So most of my shares are bought for averaging 60 pence per share, but they're currently sitting at 50 pence per share. So no chance we're selling that at the minute anyway. because I mean, obviously, Lloyd's Bank has been around for so long. I don't expect it to go anywhere, even if it does take a massive dive. It did in the last recession, but I still can't see it going anywhere. It's got massive income potential, and even if a recession did come around, I think it would quite easily climb its way back. Most of our most of our valuations are obviously down. What's next? Next, we've got Mondi. Mondi, this is a fairly recent investment. So we've got 198 shares currently, and we always have. We only recently bought that last month. Same with PayPoint. They've got a decent dividend yield. Mondi being obviously a packaging company. Same kind of thing with majority of the things that I invest in. Packaging, it's not going anywhere. I understand that a lot of environmentalists would want us to stop using plastics and um, basically hurting the environment by our waste. But I don't see Mondi going anywhere, to be honest. It's just so important for every industry to have some sort of packaging for every product. Like look at Amazon, what do they use? They use cardboard boxes, plastic wrappers. That's one of the biggest companies right now. Obviously, actually, they pay quite a decent dividend even on top of that. Some shares coming in, and that's about it for them. PayPoint, obviously, PayPoint is in charge of electronic transfers, kind of similar to sort of PayPal, but it's not really for that. It's like electricity bills, payments like that. So most stores will use them, and they'll take a percentage, which is just shows how integrated they are into various industries. Which is why I don't think they're really going anywhere. Or in fact, I expect this share price to rise. SSE, taking a dip. Originally bought them for around about £15 per share, I think it was. Yeah, round about £15 per share. I don't exactly know what my average is, but obviously they're down to currently like 10, 11, like basically teetering on 11.10, that sort of thing. So we're just going to write it out. There's been a lot of changes with SSE in the last couple of months, but I don't see it really going anywhere. It seems fine to me. They're basically the leading industry within the Scottish sector, and obviously the kind of northern England, and kind of expanding slightly as well. But there've been a lot of changes, but I still believe in them. And there's obviously a heavy dividend if you were to reinvest more on this dip as well. Right. I think that's all the shares. The next one below here is just the my basically employee shares when I did work at Aviva. But there's not too much going on with there. The valuation is currently at £800. But there's not really much to tell. Same kind of thing as the Aviva shares I had here. They're on a dip. Right. So next we're going to go into my strategy with the portfolio. Like I say, I am a dividend investor, so I do believe in the more shares that you have in these companies, specifically if you choose kind of blue chip sort of companies that have been around for so long, there's not much risk involved with it. Basically because they'll ride out most of the financial climates that we come to, the trends, it'll ride the waves, and then if you buy when they're on the dips, aka when they're in recession, then you'll basically, when they do rise back up, you'll be left with a crazy amount of shares. You'll have 3 times your shares, and well, basically by reinvesting your money as you went, which will then allow you to just have like insane income when you do get back up there as well, which kind of makes it insane. If you were having gone through a recession and had all these companies and all these shares, and all that income coming in from that, from dividends, then would you still be reinvesting even on such a bullish market at that point? I think you probably still would be, just because you don't know how high the market's going to go next time it does go back up. Every time it dips, it goes back up like, I don't know, another extra couple of points, or it's all constantly getting higher and higher as the market just grows and grows. So that's kind of my kind of strategy towards the markets anyway. The next one is the income of the portfolio. So I've set all this up. So this is the current, basically this month's, the companies that are paying dividends this month for me. The two up here, I've just gone into, what's the name of it? Dividend Max. So they basically just tell you how much it is. So I just put in how many shares I had of PayPoint. And then it basically tells you when the next dividend date is and how much you're going to get. So at the minute we've got £25.37 pence coming in from PayPoint, and that's in 16. No, go next dividend 16 days. No, sorry, it's the 30th of September. So that's next month. Oh, excuse me, I thought that was this month. Never mind. This is the one for this month. So we've got City of London Investment Trust. So this is basically, like I said earlier, I had sold out of like 2/3 of the shares of this, but I had reached the dividend date or the ex-dividend date. So I'm going to be getting shares on this amount rather than the 1,000 odd shares that I would have gotten if I'd waited a day later or finished a day earlier. Sorry. So we're going to get £111.01, and basically I'm going to be putting in from my day job around about between £600 to £700. So we're going to have around about £800, £700 to invest this month. So the next one was to think about what sort of companies it is that I would want to invest in this month, and I was going to basically put it up to you guys. Well, not entirely. not trust you guys just yet. But I was going to give you a few options and see what you thought about basically what I was thinking. So let's have a quick look and see what we have. So the first one we had was Severn Trent. So basically this is a utility company within the UK, and they basically are a dividend payer. They're not really been affected much by the current financial climate. See, in the last year, they've been pretty steady around about, that's just dipping to 1.8, 1.7. So they seem pretty steady here. The only concern with them is that across the last kind of year, Jeremy Corbyn is the main one, has been saying that he would want to basically put this sort of organization under government control. Again, I can't remember the word for it. Oh, never mind, it'll come back to me. They'll put it back under government control so that they could regulate the prices and regulate everything like that. This is a big concern because it was obviously forcing to sell no matter what the share price was, or no matter what they offered. Basically, if they forced Severn Trent to sell all the shares of the company, then you would be basically losing out on money. But at the same time, from the other side of it, they are a very good dividend payer. It's a utility company, which generally is a safer option in terms of a recession, because every single person that, even if they're having a tough time, they'll still need water, which means they'll still get, Severn Trent will still get paid basically. It's a good steady option in a recession, and that's why I've basically, why I'm basically putting it as one of the options. What else? Let's have a quick look. I'm just going to check my other one. All right, next one we had was Vodafone, actually. So Vodafone share, there we go. Okay, so Vodafone's coming off of a big drop after basically they announced that they were cutting their dividend recently. I'll have to double check exactly what their dividend was. And if anyone has any more information about that, that'd be great. You can just leave it in the comments. The next one I was thinking of. What else have we got? We've got Visa. Visa was the next one. Visa's not the sort of company that I was expecting to be dipping a lot during basically this turmoil in Brexit. I expect them to do quite well out of it with more and more debts as people can't afford things. Just a good steady graph across the last year, just constantly going up and up and up and up and up. When was that from? That was 120 in December 2018. So in 7 months, they've grown like a third. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, they pay a steady dividend as well. They're one that I was thinking about getting into. And I think that's it. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I've got £700, got that there. I think that's us. I'm going to cut the video here. If you could leave a like if you do fancy having a look at this again, and subscribe if you're interested. But after that, I'll see you guys next time.